No one here by that name, friend, but I'm sure they'll be here soon. Care to have a drink while you wait? Tell us all about your adventures in Phalon. I'm Lord Master Matt,
And I'm Phalon John.
and welcome back to the Sleeping Grush podcast, your source for information from every corner of the world of Phalon. We're brought to you today by Cardboard Corner Cafe, where we are back home.
That's right. We're all three in the same room.
It's
crazy.
amazing.
That's crazy.
If you're in the Kansas City area and looking for a place to have some food, play some games, get a drink, Cardboard Corner Cafe is the
Throw a
place.
birthday party.
A birthday party, that's
Right.
true. That's right. Two locations, one at the Lenexa Public Market and one in Overland Park, Cardboard Corner Cafe. All right, John, it's been a time. We had a big hiatus, and then we had a huge Gencon episode that folks will have already listened to by the time they're hearing this.
Yeah. What is that? What is that getting?
It will get published as soon as I get Jager the stuff that he needs to do it.
Wow.
Jager's ready to go.
You ready to go? Okay.
It's me that's
So today, maybe?
perpetual today.
Because, once people hear some of the things that are said in that podcast, I'm not sure we'll have any listeners.
True. I mean,
Or way more. It was enough, right?
NSFW.
That was that was a lot of fun.
It was.
It was a great.
It was a huge.
What
huge
we're
house.
what we're referring to is, we get we don't get a block of hotel rooms at bigger cons. We get an Airbnb, and including the team that goes to run all the events at the con of the booth. We have our partners and friends show up as well.
Right.
So we had some guests. We sat around the room and did a podcast like we've done in the past at Gen Con, and that was, I got to tell you, for me, that was the highlight of the There was some administrative and logistical lowlights. So
for a number of reasons.
yeah. So but it's a great episode. So
It is.
It was good that it fell on episode 40. That was fun.
That is, and we're doing episode 41 today, and we've got another 9, and we're gonna have a big episode on 50 for everyone.
Yeah,
So we're looking forward to that.
What's on your table, Matt?
Gosh, I've got a lot on my table, John.
Paint table.
Oh, that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I have a lot on that too. Unfortunately, in fact, you can barely see it. I've got a couple things that I want to talk about. First is an Azalakar that has wings that I'm painting up. That I started at Gen Con, and I'll be working more on.
Because really what those things need is to be able to fly.
I mean, yes. if you're if you're a follower of the Air Dragon, I would suppose that you would need something like that.
It's terrifying.
It is terrifying. It makes a great baddie for encounters and things like that. We've had one in the past, and I seem to have misplaced it because I'm an idiot. And we're gonna get one back.
Okay, you misplaced a winged Azalakar.
Yes.
Flew away.
Yeah, sure. We'll say that instead of I'm an idiot. So we have that on the table, and then we're working on a project that's going to be released in the spring.
Let me ask a question about the winged Azalakar, though.
Yeah, sure.
So you did a conversion, obviously, because they're not normally flying, 'cause that would be crazy. Where were the wings from? They're 3D printed or from one of our models?
One of our models.
Yeah.
It's coming from our Parakeer.
Parakeer. Okay.
Yeah. And actually, I think it's from the Daklos Ravager.
If we want to same creature, but yeah.
Right. So, but the
one
wings are
just
red.
yeah.
And they actually fit really, really well up on the shoulder plates. They took very minimal green stuff.
We have to improve using DGS models to convert DGS models.
I'm not
so
kind of
I'm
particular about that.
loving that.
We'll show some pictures, and maybe it'll be a little further along by the time it gets out. We've got skin mostly done, and the wings are going to be gradient. A lot of fun.
Nice.
So that, and like I said, we got a special project coming to you guys in the spring around Adepticon time, and it's going to be a really cool, fun thing that I've been working on for a while now, and I've got some stuff on my table.
The cost of Adepticon, it really kind of goes the whole year.
It'll go the whole year.
Right.
Yeah. Because Adepticon is kind of the last con in our tournament cycle.
First con in our calendar year.
It's gonna it's going to kick off there. People are going to be hearing about it probably around Christmas time as we get a little closer and a little more sure about a date. But I've got some really cool stuff on the table for that because there's a modeling component to that project, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy that.
That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. So for our Spike and Win segment, what have we been playing, John?
I did play a game of Free Plays. I know what Matt wants to do is me to talk about Teardown, which I will. But I will say, because I have to give him props. We were at the tournament at Gencon, and we had a lot of challenges administratively and logistically with the convention structure, and we were headed for somebody couldn't show. We were headed for an odd number.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a ring helper to jump in, and I was kind of scrambling. And Roger Rexroad, graciously said, "I'd be happy to step out," which is hard because there was a lot of smack talk between him and Luke Fields.
There was some smack talk.
Although it kind of turned out interestingly at the end. But he said, "I'll step out, but at a price."
Yeah.
And so, look, you helped me so much. I know that you really wanted to have that showdown. I'll pay it.
You already had your checkbook
He
out.
said, "Well," I got over it because what he wanted was a game.
Right.
I had played Free Blades, regular Free Blades in a couple of weeks, so I was absolutely down for that. And characteristically, we went to a draw. The 2-hour round that the people were playing the tournament round, he and I played to a start. I mean, no VP whatsoever.
That's awesome.
And Frontier, we played the same scenario they were playing. And interestingly, I didn't have any models with me. I looked them all out. So he had 2 lists, Corona and Falcarin, and basically the same design in each. 2 heavies, 2 black spears in the Coronans, 2 veteran knight defenders in the Falcarins, 2 gray veils for the maneuverability and running around harassment, and 2 Paracure on the Falcarin side. Very, very similar in structure, and one that I've kind of, my play style's moved away from that. That's not what I love Falcarins and Coronans,
Right.
but I don't play them that same way.
Right.
I do have a 2 gray veil list, but there's 2 red lancers in it. But it was interesting to play it, and we kind of, we basically mirror imaged each other in our capabilities, and nobody could take one of the 3 objectives from the other person. It's awesome. Now, interestingly, Luke won. So now Luke has 4 coins and Roger has 4 coins. We are going to make that matchup happen no matter what. So those 2 need to settle.
Maybe Roger can come back out for Reapercon or something.
I told him that.
Yeah.
So we need to get your butt down here for. But what Matt wants me to talk about is I got the opportunity at Gencon to play some Teardown. That's our new board game. It is a deck builder. I know there's a lot of smack about whether a deck builder is a card game or a board game. It has a board. Shut up. So it's marketed like a board game.
It's called Teardown.
Right. Yeah. That's the way to go there. And I'm not a deck builder person.
Right.
It's not my style. So I'm appreciative of them, but it's not something I choose to play myself. So I had to kind of, get into the culture of it. And the snazziness of this design is, as I understand it, unlike a lot of other deck builders, so I'm not familiar with many of them. You have a standard deck that you have a store you can buy cards from, but you have this row, what we call the timeline of 5 cards, and they slide. And when they slide, they occupy new positions. And on the bottom of the card is what you get from that card in each position. Gold, VP, or some card manipulation tactic. Right? Look at your deck, scry, trash a card, put it in the exile pile, whatever is not discard. You're out of the game.
Right.
Move from the game. So, and then we have our patrons, and the setting is the patrons are vying over control of all the influence and money is flowing through the city of Teardown, the free city of Teardown. And because of tariffs and other challenges, we did not have it for sale at Gencon, which is sad. It would have been really nice to have it for sale.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We had to adjust that to Black Friday, but we were taking pre-orders and we were doing demonstrations of the game because we had some prototypes made. Brandon did them at the booth, and our good friend Aaron Newell did them at the, our game area out on the floor. Right. And they were generally full. It's up to 4-player game. The seats were generally full, but when they weren't, I would time it to kind of float back to because I was either in a meeting, visiting the booth,
right,
going over to Arthur's Alley, coming out to see you, right, where all the games are going on. But of course, I was one of the people who made the schedule, so I knew what all Aaron's games were. So I
You
would,
mysteriously show up.
I would mysteriously, the timing of my visits to the game area would be when Aaron's demos were starting. So if we had an extra seat, I'd jump in and play. So I got more than one game,
Yeah.
which was nice. And there's 6 patrons to choose from, up to 4 can be played. And I like the style of the Dallas Sack, this Pirate King,
Right.
Chakra Pirate King. Just the way that his deck plays out. And so I like to think I remember every game I played, but I had the opportunity to play several. I will say I really enjoy it. It is for a person who likes crunchy games, very much the crunchy game guy. 6 pages of rules and a very clever, sleek design by Brandon Burns. It's a nice, refreshing palate cleanser.
Right.
I don't have to overthink it, but you can't underthink it. There's plenty going on in that game.
Right.
For a game that's only got 6 pages of rules, Brandon has done a great job of there's a layer under a layer under a layer. You can score well and you can learn the game very quickly. But if you're routinely gonna get the most victory points, you kind of got to sort out because you can't just do your own thing. You've got to be doing stuff that influences the other players.
Right.
And you can interact.
Right.
It's not like they just everybody's on their own. So you can manipulate other people's card layouts and decks by the things that you do. And you kind of have to keep an eye on that. Otherwise, you might be scoring, I got, 55 points. Well, I got 56, so whatever. So there's a lot of little challenges in that. I very much enjoyed it. I don't remember, I felt really good about the fact that all the games were close, in that nobody was running away with anything. And got to meet some very cool new people, because this was a demo, and Aaron was teaching the game to the other 3, and I was able to help. I sat down and played.
Right.
I would play my cards, do my thing, but really what I was doing is teaching somebody how the game worked, and that does not take any effort. That game is extremely easy to learn.
That's good.
So Black Friday release, along with some of our Free Bloods models, awesome Free Bloods models, and you can go on our website and pre-order it now.
Yeah, it's right in the shop. There's a pre-order section that Jeff set up for us, and it's live and ready to go. So
yeah, we've had many since during the con and some after. So yeah, awesome. Yep. So that was my. So I got a Free Bloods game in and several games of Teardown, which is unusual for me to get games in the.
It's a good Gen Con.
Gencon, yeah.
Like you said, one of the few things about it.
Yeah. Logistically, administratively, the players are wonderful.
Yeah,
It's not about that.
Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that.
We got
How about a recap of
Gen Con recap.
Let's start with cemetery. Well, we did that during the.
We did that.
Dan did a great job.
We did. There's no way we can tell the story.
No, as well as he did.
I do want to start by saying thank you to all of our players and all of our volunteers and everybody else that came out and just made that event rock.
Yeah.
I was on the floor with the games, and we were consistently sold out, or had a couple of walk-ups that took the last couple of tickets.
Right.
We were rocking over there on the game floor, and our volunteers made that happen. We had a lot of local players and some non-local players came in, and they were amazing.
Yep.
So we got to meet a lot of people that we'd only seen kind of on Discord, and only knew their Discord name. So that was a lot of fun. And so thank you to everybody that made that a fantastic time.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, we can't do this without the crew that comes out to help us.
We can't. So there's not enough of us. There's too many things, too many moving parts.
Yeah.
For that to work well. We had 1, 2, 3, 4 different games going a couple times a day, basically. A couple demos and then 3 different encounters. And without our volunteers, no way.
You got a memorable highlight from one of the encounters games?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember all the yelling and doing. So I know there's more than one.
There's so many, but
Yeah,
my favorite was one of our players who comes by every year at Gen Con and plays encounters with us. It's Sinking Sands. For those of you who've not seen it, it's a group of adventurers who is trying to get into this temple. Yeah, it's a temple necropolis that has suddenly appeared in the desert in Kandor. There's a windstorm one night, and it's uncovered this new necropolis. So there's a set of adventures that's going in. You get there, and there's a lot of shenanigans that I will not.
Yeah, because people don't want to play it.
Yeah, because we're going to be
No spoilers.
we're going to play the Reapercon.
Okay.
But at the very end, there's a boss, of course, right? And the boss comes stomping out, and in the doorway leading up to the main temple entrance, there is one lone apprentice knight of Tanar.
Oh, I was there for this. Yeah. Okay.
And he looks at me and he says, "I'm going to do this solo." I was like,
but he's way ahead of the rest.
Yeah, everybody else was cleaning up some of the bad guys, and there was, we released some horsemen, all sorts of craziness. But I was like, if you do that, we will make that person a high quester. We're going to write a story about it.
Oh yeah, put him in the lore.
And sure enough, Leroy Jenkins, and off he goes. And now a couple of the other players got there by the time that the baddie was downed, but he had done over half its health points already. I mean, he just
survived.
Yes, survived. Got it.
Just got it done. The
player was a he. The
Pradman was he, but the apprentice knight was the shit. Stock 26 gold.
Yeah,
every day. Just out there, not caring,
getting it done.
Yeah,
right. Tanara was definitely.
You have a 3.33 repeating, of course, percent chance of that. Right. So that's what Leroy starts with.
Yeah,
I know my fake videos.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, and that's what you play the game for. Is what it was like that.
And that was just one of several during the weekend that we had, but that was definitely the most memorable one. Because I'm kind of moving between the different games and making sure that everything's all right, and dealing with event staff and all that sort of thing. Is everything kind of crumbled down around us and was on fire. But that one, you get to be directly involved in. So
I'm sitting there in these demos with Aaron playing my deck builder, trying to decide, agonizing over what to spend my card to spend my 3 gold on. And all of a sudden, there's a big whoa holler at the counter table because somebody spiked something, or the boss went down, or we uncovered the MacGuffin, or whatever.
Right.
Those are good stories, you guys are good.
Yeah, those are a ton of fun, and we're going to continue. We're going to take a look at board tonight for a potential Adepticon encounter. So, that cycle continues.
Absolutely. Awesome.
We also have 14 new releases at Gencon.
Well, let's count them here. Okay, let's talk about it. So just to start with the Grular, a new mounted Corcon.
Yes.
A new mounted caster that can be made as either an energy caster, the fire starter,
right,
or a spirit caster, the warlock caster of shadow, the fire starter warlock. A new impaler, plastic. A new marauder in plastic,
yep,
and a new raider in plastic.
Yep.
If you're a fan of the game from before, you'll know that when they were metal, the impaler and the raider were in the same package. You built it is either one or the other. You got 2 different arms and 2 different heads to make either a raider or an impaler. Now there's separate models in plastic. So that's 5. And separating out the marauder, but with 2 raiders, that's also a starter box.
It is.
A new starter box. So mounted Corcon, and we brought Rulard to where they need to be.
Right.
The mounted steps living, nomadic people that they should have been all along. All on horses. We should see more of that coming up. Yeah, and
lots more of that.
So we had, of course, you listen to somebody, out there, well, I don't know if I could make horses work. All right, that's it. I play them out of ruler. Tonight, we're down at our game store. We're going to play here afterwards, but so I didn't have them. I had to put them back in the case, but when I get that list back out, I'm going to come down here. And I don't have a painted fire starter yet. I need that.
Yeah, I need one of those.
I would have had a painted balcony, but as we related in a previous podcast, I destroyed him. Gave him back.
That's one that you didn't list, actually, I don't think, was a Falconer.
Right, so we haven't gotten to that. Okay, so outside the starter box, Marauder, right? We're no longer selling the Post 1, Post 2 old metal models. We're selling a Marauder, but it's a female model.
Yep. Very, very beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful
Yes.
pose.
Now that our art director is, the
Dictator.
queen of art dictator. That's right. Jesus. I want to ever hear me say that incorrectly. You know. Um, yeah. Where's John? So, uh, who has a significant interest and a lot of experience in things equine.
Yes,
So she and makes sure that the horses are just gorgeous.
they are.
In addition to the riders being much, much better than in the past. And less work to put together. Okay.
Much less work.
So we're on, so that's, let's see, 5, Falconer 6. Okay.
And it must be said that the Falconer can be either a hero or a leader model.
Right.
There's
So
pieces
leader
of both
Falconer.
in there.
Yep. And then is that all the no, the Grular deserter?
Deserter.
Right. So it's a follower on foot
Mm-hmm.
with a bonky
Big
pedal and
Look at
fighting spirit. One of the things we get asked, oh, why would a deserter have fighting spirit? Are you kidding me? It's the original desperation talent.
That's right.
Right. So
Right.
I just need to live.
Got some honor to
It's not a morale oriented thing on him and say, "Oh, I wanna die." So that's 7 by my count.
I think I counted the Firestarter and the Warlock.
That's 2. Okay, now count of 14. All right, so let's see. And then the one outlier is the Harold Ellen Quester of Barrack.
Yes, gorgeous.
Female knight with a battle axe.
Hefted it up.
Yeah, Jennifer Felix and
Hugely dynamic.
it's a lot. So what do you expect? Okay, run over there and I'm going to slay whatever it is.
Right.
Um, and she's made a career out of making that character work for her in the stories that we've been telling. So
Yes, Daenerys has a very storied history,
yeah, she does.
and it's going to actually come out in written form.
Including trudging to 1,000 Shamblers.
That's exactly right. We're going to
I was
immortalize
thinking
that too. Good.
Yeah. Walking Dead. I'll squeeze the Running Dead. So 9. Okay. And then the Coronins. Nightwing. Female model with sickle. They're all armed with the moon sickle.
All armed with the moon sickle.
So you can make it all as I am making all moon sickle fours. Some of my Nightwing, female tower agent. Night Fang, male tower agent.
Yep.
Shader, a follower with the sickle has ambush.
Right.
Okay. Key component of that. So that's 12. What am I missing?
I'm bringing up my my
Your
list.
Your master list.
Well, I've got
It's so many we can't track them all.
It's ridiculous but true. Oh, the Krang. How did we?
Oh my
the Krang?
that guy. Jeez, I know why I forgot.
God.
And I want to say, so you need to know this. So many years ago, we did the very first group podcast at Gencon. The lightning round question was, tell me your favorite model, your least favorite model. Got around to me, I told my story about how I didn't like the original Krang.
Right.
Okay. So we've remade it, but the old one still stuck me in the eye to the bitter end. His old store entry wouldn't die. It was interfering with the customers. Customers were buying stuff on the first day when it became available online. You saw a little note in customer service, hey, the exact page goes to 404. It's because his software was dicking with storage, and I had to go in and untangle it. But nothing else did that. None of those other old store entries. That one guy said, John, I've taken enough of your crap. I'm going to go out swinging.
That's right.
That's so I told Joe I just eliminated that entry. So she's gone.
Gets you to the missing.
Vaporized it.
That sucks.
That's new trend, right? So that's a Grular model on foot with a spike tracker sword,
Yes.
and then a parry dagger equivalent.
Right.
Who's a great follower. I mean,
Fantastic follower.
He jumps in there, and
I don't think we ever had any issue with the rules. It was the sculpt.
and not everybody disliked it. It was my pet peeve, not anybody else's.
Sure.
It's just an idiosyncrasy. I've had to adjust to my least favorite model. I sent him into the ether this morning.
That's awesome.
So
That is actually 14. I just looked it up
Okay.
at my list, and that was 14. So,
my God.
what a
Yeah.
what a release.
Yeah.
I mean, that was incredible. Now they're all online, of course.
Yep.
But
Available
you'll
for
get
sale
this.
online. Yep.
It'll be a week they've been on. So Don't sleep on that, guys. That's
And we did, one thing that I think we had noticed is that we've finally done a much better job of getting the models to our retailers before both the convention and the online sales,
yes,
because that's where the game is played. Now retailers, make or break us,
right.
they're huge partners. And the players that go there loyally buy at the store and be rewarded.
Absolutely.
So um, we saw a little dip in online sales, which is to be expected because people bought from
From
our retail
retailers.
partners
Right.
that got theirs in advance.
It was so fun because we were, I believe it was coming back from Gen Con. So Sunday night, we'd stopped at some gas station someplace and we're fueling and trying to put caffeine in it
Before and I 70,
somewhere, right? And
it's all blur.
it is a blur. The next few days after that were
Caffeine,
more of a blur.
caffeine feel blur.
Um, one of our players had contacted me through Discord and said, "Hey, I'm painting one of our new models. Do you have a picture of the back of it so I can, paint it box standard?" And I'm like, "In a couple days."
That's right. Yeah. Not,
But it's awesome that
not,
they're already getting on it.
not in whatever Bird, Missouri or whatever it was. We're on, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So
Lots of new releases.
lots of new
Favorite
releases.
pre-orders.
Mhm.
I know that we have to talk about the Ancala Oracle pre-orders. Let's save that for another episode.
Let's do.
Do that.
I think that
I got some more information on that. I want to talk about Reapercon. I think you do too.
yeah, I do too. And I think we need Karin for that.
That would be a good idea. Huh.
I don't.
wonder if there's anybody that can talk around and join us on the podcast.
I don't know.
I'll work on
Somebody will eventually get a hold of her.
it. Okay, let's do that. That's a good idea. So we got Reapercon coming up because it's that crazy month. It's bookended by two big conventions. Yeah.
We're only a couple weeks out,
Right.
really, at this point. 2.5, I think.
Yeah, this recording is about halfway between the two conventions, Gencon in Indianapolis and Reapercon down in Denton, Texas.
Yeah, and Reapercon's one of those events we love Reapercon because it's laid back. It is a modeling convention, right? It's a painting convention, so
Painting, sculpting, hobbying, conversions,
yeah,
all those things.
a lot of classes. It's put on by Reaper Miniatures.
Yep.
We love it. We get to go in, we get to talk to a bunch of people, we get to game, we get to kind of low key, almost relax. Not live, but
It's taste of Reapercon is so much less frenetic than the other two. That, for us, it just we keep using the words laid back. It's not because it's a
con.
commercial enterprise,
Yeah.
right? But the pace is better.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Coming out of Gen Con where there's 75,000 of our closest friends.
yes, all in the
To-
same corner. Same.
True.
I wouldn't survive without that. Exhibit loading dock. You step through a emergency door and you appear through another emergency door.
I love
There are
that thing.
players sitting up against the wall, right, waiting for something to happen, or in between purchasing things, or in
Right.
between games. And I would come out of one of those emergency doors, the other end of the wormhole,
Right.
Right. After having shaved off a half an hour walking through that thing, and just appeared.
Right.
You'd be like, where'd you come from?
It's a half an hour of time in like 4 years of your life.
Yes.
Right. You going through
Oh,
those.
Yeah. I did it a couple times out in the middle of the dealer hall. Well, God, just out of solidarity with my fellow gamers.
Oh, sure. Sure. Yeah.
But once I've done that a couple times, it's time to use the wormhole.
So what do we got lined up for Reapercon?
You have games lined up.
I do. I have a whole host of games lined up. Let me, as we're sitting here and I'm on my computer at the same time, let me pull up my beautiful
Schedule.
which is sitting in front of me. They even have the tables already assigned. I mean, it's lovely. So we have about 8 games, 3 per day, basically, with a tournament on Saturday, which I'll let you talk to.
Sure.
We have a demo, an encounter of Sinking Sands, and a new encounter called Shadows of the Empire, where you will be trying to escape an island with a Marshall illusionist hot on your heels.
Oh, well,
It's a very interesting setup. It's going to be
who wrote that one?
fun. I did.
You did.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I did. So
That's what we're playing.
it'll be fun. I would love for you to come over and play. Although, no, it's sold out.
Oh, boo.
Both of them.
But yay.
Well, yeah, come over and help.
No, I'll come over now.
The thing is about these guys is that most of them are already sold out.
Yeah.
So if you want to get in on one of these
Given
games,
that those people aren't familiar with the Reapercon setting, there aren't a lot of game events.
Not a lot.
And the ones there are, most of them are role playing.
they are.
You know,
Yeah.
Reaper's line primarily, not entirely, but primarily supports, if I can, say that, I think I'm accurate in this, primarily supports role-playing characters and role-playing villains
I
who
would
play
agree
the
with that.
seas,
Yeah.
right? So they have their own games,
Mhm.
and they're super understanding about people like us coming in,
Well, sure, yeah,
because we sales feed off each other.
they do. They do.
And we're all interested in the beautifully painted model. I get to watch them. I don't get to make them. But, so to go from last year, we didn't do a floor game. We did walk-up demos.
We did actually have a couple of floor
Did we?
games last year, but they weren't. They were more open ended.
Right.
We
They weren't
didn't.
on a schedule.
They weren't
on schedules, right?
Yeah. But this year we decided we had enough people there, enough players, that we needed something a little more structured.
Yeah, that local group of Texans is really,
They're on it.
gelling. They're all over.
Yep.
It's different locations, kind of closing in on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everywhere from Houston to up to Dallas. We've got
Right.
players everywhere in between there. And
Buddha.
Buda, yeah,
Buda.
south of Austin. So lots of players there. So we're throwing some games.
Right.
And Jacob Metzinger is going to be there with us to
Right.
help run those games, and then I'll be on games, and I think you're going to come help with those games.
Sure.
So it's going to be a great time. We're going to have a lot of fun. Something else that I really want to try to do this year as well is try to have some ad hoc painting going on. So that go and claim a table
Okay.
and like just sound it off over the Discord, and anybody that can join us come and do some painting.
We
So
gotta get ours. We gotta jump right in there and get ours with the KC crew.
yeah, because they
Right.
go in early in the morning.
Oh
and they
yeah,
grab a
they,
table.
like longest down, but they seize one with power, floor outlets, and their lights, and
Yeah.
all that sort of thing. But it would be cool if it was near them. I'll
Yeah.
talk to the Craig and those guys about where this going.
Yeah.
Say grab a second table. We'll make that the DJ's game.
Yes, we'll put a little
Come.
banner on it.
Sure.
We'll set up and do some
Somebody
painting.
wants-
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll bring my paint kit in during the day.
Absolutely.
Sure.
I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Way cool.
Yeah.
Thus confirming the laid back nature of Wisconsin.
We just made
No way we should have joke guys.
Right. All right. So tell me about the tournament.
Tournaments, so it's the second year, we kind of built up in terms of the number of players interested in playing a tournament. The crew there ran last year, the crew of players from the Texas area. So we're running it this year to take that off their shoulders so they can all play.
Back on play.
know.
Right.
The numbers have grown to that point. And it's a pretty standard. It's 3 games, 3 rounds, 275 gold, using this year's tournament pack. Nothing weird.
Nothing fancy.
The only thing that will be initially special about this is that this will be the first tournament where the models from this release can be played.
That's right.
It's not quite a month, but we told that crew that's not what it's not. The point of it is not to be draconian about the minutes.
Right.
It's just to give people a chance to see them because they also might be playing as a playtester who's been with these models for 6, 8 months, whatever.
It's close enough for jazz.
It's absolutely close enough. So I know some of the guys that are coming are going to be playing some of the newer stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And some are not. So they're going to be playing, both, the newer models plus their favorite faction. And it's a great crew to hang out with.
Right.
That's what I'll be doing on Saturday.
That'll be
Another challenge going to be had.
So as of this morning, we'd only sold 7 tickets, but I know an 8th player is going to join. So
Yeah, I'm less concerned about that. I think the interest is enough that there's going to be more than
I think you're right. I think you're
I just think they're not used to the idea of buying a ticket for this. They're going to show up and go,
right.
we're going to help them with it.
Again with the back nature of the event.
And if they want me to, I'm not going to just force myself to. I'd be the ringer too.
Sure.
No.
Well, like I said, as of this morning, we have an 8th player join.
Yeah.
So we're in business.
Yeah, I'll talk to that crew. Well, whatever they prefer is how we handle that.
Get it done. Yeah, absolutely.
So that'll be a lot of fun.
All right. So Reapercon is going to be a lot of fun. It's coming up really quick. By the time that this airs, people are going to be, it's going to be really close. We're going to be getting ready
Oh, another thought about the tournament.
Yeah.
The first time that those models from the Gen Con release will be in the tournament. Also the first time that purchased magic items,
Ooh,
which is a brand new feature in Free Blades Living Rulebook 25.2, just released at Gen Con.
right.
The magic items that you could randomly acquire in campaigns in the different scenarios, looting spree and treasure hunt, whatever else, the layer.
But now,
Now you can, to a limited extent, you can purchase them
right.
and have much more control over it. And shenanigans, it's gonna be
Judging from what we've seen online so far,
Yeah.
shenanigans
So-
and my DMs, which are full
Yeah,
of every
sorry, yeah, it's a fact.
mishmash of magic item to faction.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's going to be awesome, and that is going to be a really interesting, a very interesting dynamic.
We're gonna see all the different combos down there.
Yeah.
Which leads us to our job board item.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Talk about that. So, one of the questions asked recently on Discord is about, we have been issuing over the past few years, as promotions, artifact cards.
Mhm.
Longtime players recognize them, the Variax Crystal, Leanna's Bow, the Avalanche, the Crescent Moon. And those are still viable for play.
Right.
Okay. What has changed is there are magic items in the rule book with costs and rules for how you buy these things. And so now it's not a special thing when you only have the card, but it's also something you can do with the items that are in the rule book.
Right. Right.
In addition to that, as part of the Ankala project, we'll talk about that next episode, I guess, catch people back up. There's going to be a 54 item magic card deck coming. That's none of those.
Right.
It's neither the promotional items nor the 60 that have been in the rulebook forever. It's 54 brand new magic items with cost. And some of them in that deck, some of them are going to be artifacts and some of them are going to be greater artifacts. All those rules are in the rulebook. They're all 2 pages of magenta because it's all brand new. And when we do an update to Living Rulebook, anything that was new from the last version is in magenta. So it's 2 full pages of magenta. It's all new. And one of the characteristics, the question was about the old rules for these items, because the only way to get an artifact was to have the card, and there was no real rule in the rule book,
Right.
table in the rule book for that. If you had one, we gave your opponent a destiny stone.
Right.
That's no longer the case, because those abilities through getting magic items are now available to anyone whether you have a card or not.
Yeah.
Okay. And so they're viable because it's an official Free Blades product, has a cost, the right, the rules right. So you can bring Crescent Moon to the game. The number of gold, the amount of gold you can spend on a magic item is kind of tight compared to the gold on the table in that rule. Gold cost of the free band sets how many gold you can spend, but you can always have one. So even if the limit is like 4 gold, you can have a 9 gold artifact.
Yeah.
You can even have a 25 gold greater artifact if you want to, right? Greater artifacts have additional rules. They take away her slot.
Yeah.
So, but you could have the Crescent Moon, but you can't have the Crescent Moon and a magic item. You should be over your gold limit.
Right.
Okay. But you're no longer the special item part, which means I gave my opponent a destiny stone. It's no longer a rule. It says so. Page 99, I think I referenced that yesterday or today. So that part of it's gone, And so my suggestion would be it's all new. Read every word of those 2 pages.
Yes.
It just help us help you.
Because it's not just an addition or something that that's kind of getting tweaked. That's a whole new addition to the game.
Yeah.
That's
something you've never been able to do before.
Yeah.
Right. The players wanted. That's why it's in there.
Absolutely.
We, that's the players wanted this. We're going to give it to them.
Definitely read that.
Please. So, yeah. It's better for all of us. So we're going to see, Nightwings and Firestarters and whatever. And we're also going to see Yorick's Belt and, the Mask of the Wolf and, its magic items are in there for lower gold cost.
Right.
But you can have as part of your food dinner.
That'd be awesome.
Yep.
I think that's about it for
It was a lot.
day. There's I mean, there's a lot going on, a lot going on.
More coming.
Folks, thanks very much for listening. Drop your comments, your concerns, your complaints all into that Sleeping Grush podcast channel on Discord. Before we sign off, we'd like to thank Andrew Potter, a World of Phalon Patreon subscriber that supports DGS games and the Free Blades community at the World Builder level. For more information about the World of Phalon Patreon, please visit www.patreon.com/DGS games. Folks, we appreciate it very much. And until next time, we'll see you around the table.
Sil Sakaba.